Frameshift drive charging. Surface scan complete. Surface scan complete. Surface scanned by 50%. Surface scan complete. Surface scanned by 50%. Surface scan complete. Frameshift drive charging. Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging. Fuel scooping complete. System scan complete. Frameshift drive charging. scanned by 50%. Surface scan complete. Surface scanned by 50%. Surface scan complete.
Hello?
Bruh. You ever watch the pilot? Can you hear me? Mic check. Can you hear me?
Hello? Okay, no worries. So,
Gabby. Mail again. Mail again.
I got my ship back. That's alright. So I got my ship back and I got 21 million in data that they gave me back. Plus the data I'd already found from starting again. And I named my ship Mr. Krabs, and I put my name on the ship too, and a Pioneer decal, and on the front here too, and on the other side here too. Ooh, shiny, shiny. So now we're off on a journey to the literal middle of nowhere. Still waiting to scan all the things, land on all the things, climb up all the mountains. The usual. Only this time, once I get to Sagittarius A and possibly Beagle Point, I will think about it as I go. Instead of going back to Colonia, I'm going back to the bubble once I've done all that. But I'm 341 jumps away from Slumoa SBC21, so we're talking probably a few real life months before I actually even get anywhere. So yeah, it's cool. My friend is actually also playing. I convinced him.
Check.
Oh, hi.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh my god, this thing takes forever to queue up. It's a great mic. It just takes, for some reason, a long time to queue up with its bass.
Boo.
Cubby, I can't wait till you get over here, bud. I hate to be the one to spoil your adventures, and it's the devs' fault, technically. So, like, the bubble... I just watched a pilot. I don't know if you ever watched this guy, but he's a great streamer.
Oh, he's great. Yeah,
right.
I like his reviews.
Right, dude, his reviews are great. The Type 7 had me damn near piss my pants.
Yeah.
Because I've owned one, so I know exactly how that thing is, right? He's been talking about burning the bubble for ages, and I used to disagree with him because he never really had like an alternative to the bubble until recently. He just did another video about burning the bubble, and this time I've never thumbs down his videos, but this time I actually had to thumbs up it and leave a comment to him like, dude, you are on point right now with this. The bubble, the problem with the bubble is all the good shit, all your Thargoid, all your Guardian, all the interesting Roxala, all that is based around the bubble.
Bubble, yeah.
It's not in the bubble per se, but it's on the opposite side of where you're at. Like Colonia is literally just a pretty place to go. Okay?
Yeah.
There's nothing out there other than screenshots and exploration. But there is no factions, there is no combat out there for the most part, unless it's PvP, because there's really not too many AI out that way, right?
Yep.
So he's been talking about burning the bubble, and when he showed a picture of what his idea of what the bubble should look like, dude, I was totally on point with that. Like, I'm moving the factions away from each other very far so that they can control certain areas of space and have them spread out across the galaxy would make this game way funner and much more interesting to play. Instead of them all being right on top of each other in what is, you know, technically a tiny bubble that in the entire 4 years that I've owned this game has never grown or shrunken.
Oh, I thought it was growing slightly. A bit.
Yeah,
No.
but then it can't. Basically, dude, it can't grow for the size of the player base. It's just
No.
not growing fast enough. And I know why. I kind of have a feeling why this is all like this. Like when they originally designed the bubble and everything had to be a really slow grind for people. And
Yeah.
now that the player base is getting larger and larger year after year, they have to make the universe smaller. The kind of players, the demographic of the type of players that they're trying to get in by doing this elite feat and stuff like that are not going to be people like me and you, bro. They're going to be a lot of the worst type of people in gaming, in my opinion. You're going to get a lot of people coming over here from Call of Duty and other shooter games because of the first-person shooting aspect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not to say they'll stay or like it. However, you know, I know you play Call of Duty. You know how that community is.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that community here. I like that. I like the community here. They're extremely helpful for the most part.
They are.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
The PvPers are a little ish.
It's competition.
Well, some of them are cool. I just met a guy who does they do sanctioned PvP, and because nobody really likes blowing up and having to get a rebuy cost, especially if you just maybe you just made a build.
Yeah.
You know, and you want to go test it PvP, but you're kind of low on cash where you couldn't afford to buy that thing if you died. Well, their sanctioned PvP is basically like you either type up to, you know, GG when you realize you're beat without blowing up. You just type in GG and the guy will quit shooting at you and he gets the win.
Oh, that's
or you
cool.
just activate your FSD drive, and that's another way to say, okay, I can speed. And yeah, dude, I was like, dude, that's actually cool. I
that's
actually
cool.
like that you guys are, you know, doing it in that kind of a fashion. That's pretty cool. Because, you know, getting ganked sucks, and getting in a PvP situation where people are using what is considered unsanctioned weapons, because the PvP area, they actually have banned, in sanctioned PvP, they've banned certain weapons and certain builds because they're just ridiculous. They're overpowered. And most people, you know what I mean, like they're almost invincible. So Pack-Hound missiles, Type 10 with Pack-Hound missiles, most people won't let you in a PvP with that.
Invincible. Yeah.
Right, dude, it's just... So there's a lot of like builds in PvP, and I'm not a PvP guy, but I like to dabble my toes in everything in this game just so I can be knowledgeable.
Mm-hmm.
I have been petrified, Cubby, on tons of cases to do anything in this game because of the cost of shit, and I've never really had tons and tons of money up until recently.
Yeah, I know how you feel.
Yeah, so like, you know, you look down, like you're an explorer, so you, for the most part, are pretty safe other than the accidental explosion, which happens.
Which apparently was my fault because I made it land on uneven ground, even though you don't actually control it.
Well, no, that's not supposed to happen. It's not your fault.
Yeah,
that's why the devs gave you back your money, and
yeah,
you know what I mean? They know it's a problem.
Yeah, the email said, oh, it appears you made it land on uneven ground.
Right.
My argument to that is that it landed 2.5 kilometers away from me anyway, so...
Well, your argument really doesn't even need to have a place, dude. The situation there is that it shouldn't land.
Well, yeah,
It
exactly.
won't let you land when it's uneven ground, right? It says unstable location, and you have to, you know what I mean?
Correcto. Yeah.
So I've said this before about like the devs need to go back and really think about some of the things they're implementing in the game. Like for instance, the auto docking computer. When the auto docking computer decides to destroy your ship, you are not in control of your ship. It is the starport that is in control of your ship. And I've said this since the beginning of the game. Why do I have to pay the rebuy cost or pay for the damage ensued to my vehicle when the starport is the one that either damages it or smashes it into oblivion?
Yeah.
They should pay for the rebuy cost. Like, I should not have to buy that.
Definitely.
I've said this time and time again.
And
However,
all my data.
Right. Well, that's the big problem with the Explorer thing. Like, most people say you should never have more than, like, 10 mil on your ship.
Yeah, but you don't know how much you've got until you land, do you? Because it doesn't actually tell you, as far as I know.
Some of them do. When you... Like, I just got $1 million for all the Thargoid and Guardian scanning that I just did. From the Federation's Pilot Association, which came as in the form of a bond or like a contract.
Oh.
Instead of just, you know, how your regular data, you got to wait till you get to the place to see it. This was actually like a claim. That's what it was said, a claim. A claim for exploration data, because I've been taking pictures for you, bro. Because I know you've been on the hunt for all kinds of crazy goodness, and unfortunately that crazy goodness is not as prevalent out there where you are. You can find some crazy anomalies and stuff in a lot of the nebulas that are out there, but you can also find them out here. Feel me? So Colonia really is, and I've said this before, it's like an island. I don't know if you've ever played Warframe.
No, not played
various
Warframe.
Other games. Okay, so and it's kind of irrelevant as far as the game itself. It's just what they put in the game. So in Warframe, they have these 3 large, what is called open world areas that they created, and they're actually just islands. And what I mean by that, dude, is it's like you go there to find the, you know, you go there to get the treasure from that island, and once you've got the treasure from that island, you never go back. It's wasted space. You feel me?
Right.
Nobody ever goes back after they farm what they need out of these giant locations, bro.
Oh.
And that's what Colonia is, dude. It's like an island. You're only going out there to get your G5 thrusters. Then after that, there's really no need to go back out there because you can pin the blueprint. There's really no need to go out there again other than exploration to see pretty things. Not even required exploration like finding Thargoids or Guardians or... You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just looking at pretty shit. And I have to agree with the pilot, like, because it is so much better looking out there, it makes more sense to have multiple bubbles, multiple faction bubbles all over the universe vying for strength. And then that would give Colonia, it would give Colonia life. There would be, you know, you put AI out there, so those people out there have to deal with the same shit that we deal out here with the bubble, with the constant interdictions every 30 seconds and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
On point with that video.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So, what'll be cool about what you're doing, though, is you're going to wind up being elite in getting Shinrata Desert open probably by the time you get back, which is kind of impressive.
Hopefully. I'm currently... Where does it tell you? Somewhere around here.
You're going to look at your right panel.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Exploration rank.
49% Pioneer.
All right. Yeah, so you'll be almost done by the time you get back. And so once you get elite on one of those ranks, you will unlock Shinrata Desra, the Jameson Orbital station.
Sweet. Oh, I named my ship Mr. Krabs for you. I actually managed to name it, so that's cool.
That is funny.
I think it...
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Tango rambles sometimes.
Oh no, carry on. So I think it says it. So I know it says Cubby on the side of my ship. I'm sure it says Mr. Krabs somewhere.
Yeah. Oh well, if you name the ship Mr. Krabs in your dash when you're staring out the front of your cockpit, it'll be in the upper right-hand corner of right where it says info.
Oh yeah. Yep. I only spelt it with one B though. I think it's supposed to have two. Never mind.
Well, no, it might. But
Oh, I should have spelt it with a
we
Z.
all know. We all know. So I'm at Jameson's Orbital right now because
Sweet.
of what this place is. It's an impingement and it's a blessing. It's both. It's an impingement for sure, and it's a blessing. It's definitely a double-edged sword here. It's good. So like when you get into, because you gotta like some combat, Cubby. You play Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, yeah. I like combat. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a chieftain before I came out here.
Oh, you should have kept that.
Yeah, I probably
That's
should
right.
have.
You'll get another one.
Oh yeah,
I
could get.
You'll have to.
I've got enough for two right now.
If you want a Thargoid hunt, dude, that would probably be your best ship. Period. End of quotation. I watch Will and Kate. I'm not sure if you watch them. It's mostly Kate.
No, not heard of Will and Kate.
Yeah, so I can get the Guardian frameship booster unlocked right now, or the module reinforcement.
Ooh, can you not get both?
Oh no, I can't get that.
Oh,
I can't
boom.
get that. I need 24 Delta Obelisk data. I don't know what those are, so I have to search those out. Alpha Obelisk data. Oh, there's different. Gamma.
No.
Epsilon. Oh, there's 4 different datas. Okay, but I literally came here to try to do Gauss cannons, just in case. I was going to try to get the Gauss cannon. Those are supposedly the only ones worth getting, is the Gauss cannons.
Gauss cannons. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I inspired my friend to get the game. Well, he already got it, but to play it. He's on his way to Colonia in a DBX that doesn't even have any kind of engineering or anything on it. He literally went, "I'll buy this DBX and go," and that's pretty much what he's done.
Wow, it gave me... I don't know what, what's the deal here? I went and did this stuff, and now it's saying that it says I don't have a blueprint. One Guardian weapon blueprint.
Oh.
But I got a blueprint. I got a Guardian blueprint when I scanned the thing.
Oh, 102 light years away. Seconds.
So the only thing I can actually get right now is the Guardian frameshift drive, dude.
Oh, is that good?
Ish. Well, yes and no.
Oh.
I didn't want to get it without having the guns. Because you can get hyper interdicted and blown up. Shit, I don't know what to do now. Matter of fact, dude, I don't even know where you go to find out where your blueprints would be when you pick them up.
No, I don't. Possibly in engineers.
Well, this is for your tech broker, your Guardian. There's 2 tech brokers. There's the Human and the Guardian.
Okay.
The Guardian is for like the Guardian frameshift drive. I gotta find.
Oh.
My auto docking computer didn't work at the port I was at. That was weird. And I got a fine for it, and I don't understand why my auto docking computer didn't go off.
Hey, you got fine?
Well, it launched me off the pad, but then it just sat me there, and I was typing to you, and I came back in, and I was like, "Whoa, why haven't I left the starport?" You know, I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Oh.
And then I looked up, and the timer was up there. You know, you have less than a minute to leave, or you're getting a fine. Well, I left, and I was like, "All right, sweet, I didn't get the fine." However, I apparently had already gotten a fine, and I was about to get another one. Good thing I didn't blow up my Type 10.
Yeah.
It is an expensive ship.
Yep.
I'm an idiot. I made my Type 10 an Explorer ship. For
yeah.
hunting.
Excellent.
But I have no anti-Thargoid weaponry on it.
Whoopsie.
You know, I can kill AI pretty well.
Yeah.
But I have nothing to kill Thargoids, and I'm afraid if I put this FSD drive on this ship, I will get interdicted, or hyperdicted they call it, which is when you're in witch space, so you're hyper jump.
Oh, okay.
Thargoids can knock you out of that.
Oh.
And it's
Oh
creepy.
dear. Yeah, that's not good.
It's creepy for a lot of reasons, Cubby. They never told people that they could do that, like, verbally. It's in the codex, but if you never read it, then you wouldn't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? A lot of people don't read the codex.
No, I've not read the codex.
I played this game for years. I just recently read the codex. This is my third account, and I just now actually started using the codex.
Oh.
Just as proof, bro. You know, the game... I think the reason why that is because it's a very overwhelming game.
It's a very overwhelming game, yeah. Took me 3 years to get the hang of it.
Right, and I think what happens in the beginning is, like, the codex is the least of your concern. You're still just trying to figure out how to fly the damn ship, right?
Yeah. I think like 90% of people who buy the game and try it leave because of the learning curve.
Yes,
it's just
I agree.
like
within the first 2 weeks is what I've noticed. Like, they can hang for 2 weeks. Roughly,
yeah, and then they
most
just
of them,
and then
it's just, I gotta go.
Yeah, and then they're just like done. Oh, I stuck with it. Well, I tell a lie. I sort of stopped playing it for quite a while, and then I went, I'm gonna try again, and then
probably the same as me, dude. You probably got frustrated the first time, overwhelmed, and was like, all right, dude, I gotta back away.
I didn't think I sort of. I was playing it, and I just sort of. I was wondering if I was even playing it right. I was sort of really confused because everyone seemed to be doing all these wonderful things, and I was playing, and I was just sort of not doing anything. Yeah, I was like, right, and then I thought, I'll just watch some people play it on YouTube, and then I was like, no, I'm definitely doing it right. I'm just missing a few slightly less obvious things, and that's when I sort of started playing it, for want of a better word, properly.
Right.
And then since then, since then I've been doing all right with it. So
mine was similar, bro. I gotta admit, but I had frustrations with YouTube because I would watch these people and I would think, okay, I can go do that, and then find out, no, I couldn't because I don't have the ship that they have. Yeah. Or the engineering.
I struggled. I struggled with that for a bit as well. I could not fight to save my life, and I just kept on getting blown up, and I was like, I can't afford this. Just can't afford to.
When they came out with engineering, they screwed it for us new players, because it's great once you're in the game, dude. Like where you're at now, you'll love engineering. However, as a new player, dude, you're kind of
very limited.
Screwed.
Yeah,
because they let AI. I forget whether it was last year or maybe 2 years ago. I remember the update where they now allowed AI to use engineering weapons and ships. So what the problem with that is they don't specify. I tell people constantly on my stream and stuff, like new players, if you're looking for combat, to avoid certain locations because of the engineered weapons. So pirate activities, when you go into a system and you're looking for like a conflict zone or whatever, occasionally in the conflict zone areas where you're hunting for conflict zones, there will also be what is called pirate activity. And if you go into the pirate activity, you will run into engineered AI, flat out. So if you're a new player with just standard components on your ship, you know what I mean, like nothing's engineered, you're not going to fare well in there. But it doesn't mean you can't win a battle with a non-engineered ship.
I don't know if it was engineered or not, but I took out an anaconda with my chieftain, which was quite. I didn't
So-
expect to
Well,
actually
the Chieftain is
blow it up, but
one of the best fighting vehicles. Period.
oh yeah, it just
that's-
could not
it's-
turn. I was on its ass the whole time.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing about the Chieftain.
Yeah.
Baby. It's the best handling vehicle in the
Oh, I
game.
love it. It's so good.
It's not the greatest for PvP because of the the PvE, or PvE in a way because of the canopy. Like that's the one
Ye-
thing about the Lakon ships, like my Type 10, Type 9, the Crate, and the Alliance Chieftain. They all have the famous bubbled out Lakon canopy, which tends to
Isn't-
get blown up.
Yeah, it's not so great for combat.
I do all right, dude, but I've had my canopy blown out quite a few times. I stay in the fight. I've learned how to read without my canopy, like just instruments only.
Oh, sweet.
When your canopy goes out, and let's say you're trying to run. I'll give you a standard scenario: is you're trying to run. You know you're fucked, and you're fucking loose, you're trying to run.
Yeah.
So you've locked yourself a destination to jump to, but your canopy's gone, so you don't see the yellow icon to face off with it. Well, in the middle of your sensor package there, just to the left of it, there's another round circle, which is your compass, right?
Yep.
You probably figured this out by now.
Oh,
Well, when
yeah.
your HUD goes out completely, your windscreen, that is how you line yourself up with your objective when you have no windscreen. Just look at that and aim yourself until it becomes that bright white dot in the center of the compass, and you're lined up, and you can go ahead and hit your FSD and get on with it.
Excellent. That's actually the first thing I learnt to use, that compassy
Was
thing.
the compass? That was
Yeah.
the last thing I learned. to
Oh,
use,
right.
too. And you know what was the most frustrating? Was trying to scan a nav beacon. Because when I first tried to do it, I was watching this video, and they're like, yeah, there's this little white box on your sensor package. Well, there was so many wakes from people leaving the fucking navigation beacon that there was a ton of white boxes. You know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah.
looping around, dude, clicking on all these wake scans, couldn't find this damn thing, not realizing that it's locked on my compass. All I have to do is lock my compass.
I couldn't read the radar-y, scanner-y thing in the middle for so long. I didn't have a clue what any of it meant or anything like that, really.
I
It
can
was
explain a lot of that if you still have questions about the HUD.
Oh,
because
oh
ours-
no! I know it all now. Or at least
Do
I
you know
think I
about
do.
the elemental effects and where they show up?
Okay, no.
Ah, see? Every time someone thinks they know everything about the HUD, you find out that there's something you don't know about the HUD.
Of course.
Okay, so, they need to explain it, but on the HUD, there are two yellow or orange rings right underneath your ship. I'm going to start on the right side because you can see that for a fact. You see your ship with the shields around it, right?
Yep.
And then underneath it, there's two tiny, skinny orange rings, one of which has a segmented pattern in it. The
Yep.
bottom one.
Yep.
Right above your armor rating, right?
Mhm.
Those segmented patterns that you see there are basically slots for individual experimental effects that would be applied to your ship. Let's say, for example, I have the Healy laser beams, the beam lasers that can heal allied shields. Okay,
Mhm.
and I'm hitting you with that because your shields are dropping. You will get a blue plus sign in one of those segments down there that tells you
Oh,
that
cool.
you are being hit with that elemental effect. Now, look to the left side of your sensor HUD, probably where there's a system, whatever you're locked onto is what'll be floating above it. If you're locked onto an enemy, it would be another enemy ship, but you notice those two same orange rings are underneath that as well.
Yes.
Although the one bottom one is not segmented. The same thing happens over there. When you're applying an effect on an enemy ship, it will show up right there. It doesn't have to be your effect either. Any applied effect on the enemy ship will show up on your HUD in that lower section there. And then do you know how to read your throttle? Like how the throttle is all set up. You have 4 bars all together. One is horizontal, the other 3 are vertical, one is blue, one is a fat yellow, and one is a skinny yellow. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
These
just
are
going to say
important.
no because it sounds
Okay.
like I don't now that you said that.
Okay, so these are important for not overshooting your objectives. Ever doing the loop of shame, dude, I can teach you right now how to never do the loop of shame again. Um, so on the very right side of that throttle bar, you have a very skinny yellow bar. That bar is tied to your pips, your power management. And you can play around with it right now and notice that if you take all the power out of your engines, you will see that that little yellow bar drops very low on, and it stays very low. And when you push your throttle up, your horizontal yellow bar that turns blue when you're in the blue section and yellow when you're out of it, that horizontal bar, when you take it all the way to the top of that, will stop at the top of those pips, that pip bar. And that is because that is the amount of energy or the amount of power that you're allowing to the engine. So you're only allowing about a quarter power, okay, when you do that. Now what is happening there is that bar will climb when in Super Cruise. If you Super Cruise long enough, that bar will climb all the way to the top along with the middle bar, and the blue bar will follow, okay? Just because you're in Super Cruise, you're constantly accelerating, right?
Yep.
Now, if you were to put all power into pips, you'll notice that bar will move up farther. And that means that the range of how much power, you got basically it's full power. You're going to have way more oomph and movement to your ship when you put all pips into engines, right? The middle throttle is your actual throttle. That is your actual speed, okay? And what is happening there when it speeds up and slows down when you're in Super Cruise? Okay, so you start leaving the star and you're going slow and the throttle's very low on your screen, and then as you get away from the star and you start getting in the middle between your objective and the star, the Super Cruise starts to speed up real good, right?
Yeah.
And that bar starts to climb, right? And this is how you wind up going into the loop of shame. When you're locked onto a target, you will see the light seconds or the meters or whatever it's reading in. And underneath that will be a time section, a clock that's ticking downward. When that clock reaches 7 seconds, I usually actually do it around 9, just to be on the safe side. You throttle down to a quarter throttle.
Okay.
And once you throttle down to a quarter throttle, you should be somewhere around 6 or 7 seconds. Generally, it's like 7 seconds for me. And you just want to maintain that throttle as you're approaching whatever you're approaching. Let's say a starport, for example. And then once you get close to the starport, you'll notice that you'll start to slow down. You'll see that bar on your left, on the far left, where you have your distance and your speed set up.
Yep.
You're trying to keep those bars even when you get close to, like right now I'm going to this place called Xploring. It is roughly like 5,000 light seconds, I think, off of the star when I come out. So it's a bit of super cruising, not a lot, but it's a little bit, right?
Yep.
So I have some time to watch that clock. I'm, probably a little over a minute, even though it's not a real minute because it's ticking down so fast because you're flying faster and faster, right?
Yeah, so
when that thing
fast.
gets down to 10, 9, 8, I'm counting in my head, as soon as it gets around 8, 9, 8, I kick it down to a quarter throttle. And then you just leave it there. I'm trying to line myself up right now while I'm talking to you.
Distracted.
So I can do this as I'm talking to you because it's just easier to explain if I'm in the midst of doing it. So right now I'm headed into this Xploring. There's a planet around it, which I'll get into gravity braking. I'll teach you how to gravity brake too, bro. You'll love it.
Ooh, gravity brake.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yes. And you've already done it, I guarantee it. You just don't know that's what you're doing.
Oh, okay.
You know how when you're coming in a little too fast towards a port?
Yeah.
But there is a planet right next to you, and sometimes you don't even notice it. You're not even purposely steering into the gravity well. It'll say you're going too fast, and all of a sudden you get into the first ring of the planet's gravity well, and all of a sudden it slows you down to a normal speed, and now you're not speeding anymore. And you're like, all right, sweet, I'm going to make it to Xploring, right, or whatever the starport is, right? However, after you start to pass the planet, you will start to gain speed again, and that's where you got to pay attention to.
Slingshot, yeah.
You'll start to speed up and whip out. However, if you're coming in really hard, you aim for the planet. Don't hit the planet, just aim for the planet. And aim for those gravity rings, bro, and they will slow you down. Now, if you're going way too fast, bro, you're going to shoot past a planet so fucking fast. The gravity rings are going to slow you down a hair once you get past the planet, but you're going to overshoot, period. It's going to be the loop of shame. However, if it's in that mild area where you caught it early, but it's still saying you're going a little fast, you know, you start steering towards the planet. Start steer towards the planet, get in one of them gravity rings, and it will slow you down. Gravity braking is a thing. I've watched people do it from the star where they go full speed and they use the Super Cruise Assist. And I've gotten it to work. Don't get me wrong here, bud. I've gotten it to work, but it's an art, apparently. I haven't been able to master this format of getting from the sun to the starport without ever getting interdicted, because you dupe the Super Cruise Assist in a fashion that winds up making you travel way faster than you should be, to the point where it does say slow down on your screen, bro. You're hauling. But for some reason, the Super Cruise will drop you out right in front of the starport at a ridiculous amount of speed, bro. However, there is like a pattern you got to follow, and there's a certain amount of speed you have to be at. Like he says, when you dupe this thing, I'll have to go back and watch the video, but it has something to do with your speed has to be under 2C when you engage this maneuver. Otherwise, you will wind up going too fast and you'll do the loop of shame. So, like I said, I've got it to do it a couple times, like literally twice, and I was like, oh, that is dope. However, I can't get it to work every time, dude. You know what I mean? But gravity braking you can still use to help save yourself in numerous situations. You know, you just start to realize you're hauling too fast, start get a little closer to that planet, so you're in them gravity wells, and then boom, you'll go back down to a normal speed. The blue bar on your throttle is your best handling. That is your primo mode.
Yes, that one. However, I did know.
I will tell you a little secret that I learned on that as well. If by any chance you just don't feel like doing full speed towards the starport and then waiting and timing your throttle down to the 7-second point, and you just want to make sure that from the star all the way to the starport you're not going to have to worry about that period. Hopefully you're not hauling anything to get interdicted. But when you throttle down to the point where your lateral bar, the horizontal bar there, that is actually your throttle adjustment, right? When that goes all the way to the bottom of the blue and turns to orange, if you bring it up just a hair to where it turns back to blue, but it's at the very bottom of that blue line, that is also perfect. You will never overshoot a fucking thing being in that area. That's the one, your boy, if you're watching my streams, you'll see me using that a lot, where I'm not going balls to the wall to get to the port. I come out of the star, I set my throttle, and I chill. Because I'm a chill player like that.
Sweet. Oh yeah, I need to actually watch your...
my streams are a little vulgar too, by the way.
Oh, that's alright, I don't mind.
I sometimes will rip game companies. I sometimes will rip game communities. You know.
Oh, I won't do that.
But yeah, I will sit there and ask why do you people all have to be trash ass salty fucking jerks? You know.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of people say they like my stream because it's a lot like a podcast, and because I'm non-monetized, because I don't try to make money off of it, you know, I'm kind of free to say whatever I want.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good thing.
But I was, if you do watch one of mine, try to look for the ones where it says more of nothing, or nothing to see here, move along, or the ones where I say there's nothing. Because that's for my Explorer dudes. Those are my Explorer videos for my Explorer dudes, because those are the only ones that are going to watch it all the way through once they see that I'm shooting probes and scanning systems. You feel me? Only Explorer guys will watch that. So I label them more of nothing for the people that are looking for some quick, you know, dopamine push. You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my fucking phone's dying.
Ring ring.
That's weird.
Ring ring.
My phone's been acting really strange lately.
Oh. I don't actually.
It blacks out. You see, it's not dead. It blacks out. I'm gonna have to restart it. It blacks out, and then it like the screen blacks out, and then it'll ring, and then it'll show my battery bar being orange at the top. Like it'll just be like this icon that shows orange.
Oh, that's odd.
And then my screen's all blacked out, and then I have to restart my phone. It's just been happening over like the last week. After I did this update, which I don't like doing updates on my shit because of the nefariousness of our governments.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
The nefariousness.
Because you never know what they're updating in your tablet or your phone.
No, you don't. I was about to say I don't actually use my phone anymore because it kind of crapped out on me. It just started going all funny, and it just so happens that when I bought this phone, well, I got it on contract, so I pay for it monthly. They gave me a tablet that was supposedly free, only it's not. It's 20 quid a month. So I figured,
right.
yeah, I'll just use that since it's there, and I wasn't using it beforehand, and I'm paying for it anyway. I actually prefer it, so.
Well, the tablet's great too.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, yeah, paying for it, I might as well use it. Just annoys me because they were like, if you get this phone, you'll get this tablet free. And I was like, okay, sure. And then like a month later, it's like £20. Like, damn it. So, yeah, it's a pain in the butt, but there we go. At least, oh, sugar, I pressed the wrong thing. I will, just use my phone as a spare, because it's got a slight crack in the screen, so if I go, my phone's going weird and it keeps like doing strange things, they'll go, oh, it's because it's got a crack in the screen, and that will cost you like 100 quid to get it sorted, even though it's insured. So I was like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, well, one good thing about the tablet, dude, is for this game, it's great research tool for this game, because you can get NARA, EDDB, you can get the 15 frickin' side apps that you need to play this game.
Oh
I
yeah.
say that all the time to people. I'm like, this is one of the few games that I have an issue with, for the fact that the developers I don't think they appreciate their community as much as they should. I really, honest to God, bro, think that the devs have no clue that their game is only alive and it only still makes them money because of their community. This game would have died a long time ago if the players didn't really love this game.
Yeah.
And they love it more than I think the devs do sometimes.
Probably.
I don't think the devs really. Have you ever looked at Frontier's site? You know, they have other games. It's a gaming company. They have other games that
not really. Except yesterday. Was it yesterday? When
they have some of their bobbleheads. You know, like if you go into the library, they have some of their bobbleheads, the wins or whatever it is.
Yeah.
The trade wins or whatever, and that's not from this game. That's from other games that they have, right? That they have Noggleheads in here. If you play that game, you know, then you can have a Nogglehead for this game from that game. So because they have other games, you know, and this is typical with game companies, they have their babies, right? I'll give you an example. Bungie, for the longest time, their baby was Halo.
Oh yes.
Until they had that issue with Xbox, where they came over to PlayStation to make Anthem and rip all the Sony PlayStation players off, and then went back to their Halo over at Xbox.
Oh.
Feel me? So they made a game that was great, but they made it just to do a cash grab. So the people that loved Anthem and wanted Anthem to be great got basically flipped the finger, and they took all that money so they can go back and doing their Halo shit again.
Oh.
And a lot of game companies do this. Well, they'll make another game to build the revenue off that game to support their main game. Baldur's Gate that just came out, or whatever it is. Remake of an old classic. Tons of people
I had the old version of that, and it's really hard.
I believe that company used other video games that they had recently come out with in order to build up the revenue for that, so they could just make Baldur's Gate.
Oh, okay.
And that's why the games they came out with are garbage and they haven't had any support and blah blah blah. And sometimes I feel like Frontier kind of looks at this game in a similar light, or at least used to up until this year. This year has had an incredible amount of uptick in players, bro.
Because of COVID.
COVID and the release of Elite Feet, dude. This whole, oh my god, they're gonna have a first-person shooting. You'll be able to get out of your ship. Which for a lot of people, that was the issue with this game. A lot of people that I met that are mainly like shooter people, if you will.
Yeah.
They're, oh well, it's just a cockpit game.
Yeah.
So now it's not a cockpit game anymore. So you're getting all these people that want to get in now, so they have all their shit by the time this comes to fruition.
Yeah.
People that had the game that are coming back because they're like realizing, oh shit, they're gonna do something to this, so people are coming back. Some of these people I don't think are sustainable players. I don't think some of these people are actually gonna stay with the game. The learning curve is still the learning curve.
Oh yeah. I have to admit, I'm quite looking forward to being able to leave the ship, but not for combat as such.
Well, that's what a lot of people are hoping, that there's other things involved with this first-person walk-around than
I'm
just
hoping
going to
so.
settlements to fight.
I want to walk on some of these random planets I land on, and poke a drill in stuff and see.
That's kind of my issue, dude. I think they would have done better if the showcase for this would have been something like showing a guy getting out of his SRV to walk around a planet.
Yeah, definitely.
I think they would have had a way better response from the community if they would have showed something like that instead of this, what looks to be like a instance. You know what I mean? It looks to be like you're joining a first-person shooter instance on the ground. And
yeah, I don't really want to play against other people because I suck at combat, especially first-person combat.
I will say this, dude. I don't think the combat is going to be Call of Duty-ish, period. I think it's going to be very spongy. I think time to kill is going to be an issue. That's you hear that often, like abbreviated as TTK. People will abbreviate it as TTK, which stands for time to kill. People will say, well, I don't like this game because of the TTK, or I don't like this game because of the TTK.
Okay.
Planet Side, if you've ever played that, there's a lot of reason why people don't like playing that is because the time to kill, the time it takes you to kill another player is kind of pathetic. Division, if you've ever played those games, what the enemies are basically bullet sponges. And I think that's going to wind up what happens is because of the suits, and the suits are going to be able to be engineered, I have a feeling that this is going to wind up being, I know it's going to sound negative, but I'm just a realist. It's going to wind up being broken just like fucking the ship's engineering, where in PvP you're probably going to be able to at some point build a build that shouldn't be capable of being done. However, they've manipulated the system to where it broke and now they're invincible. Because in PvP for ships, dude, the deal is, so I think it's something wrong with the way the shields and the armor work in conjunction with each other in the way they develop the game. So like, you're going for thermal resistances when you're fighting AI. You want all your resistances to basically be somewhere close to 50, okay, on your PvE ship or on a PvP ship. I mean, if that's all you got for PvP, that's still going to be okay, because you have 50% or close to 50% resistances on, explosive damage, heat damage, all that, okay? When you're fighting the AI primarily deals thermal damage. The AI kind of works like this. They won't shoot most of their kinetic weapons or their explosive weapons until your shields are down. That's just how the AI is. So they wait till your shields are down and then they start shooting their explosive and kinetic weapons at you. Well, from my understanding, I could be wrong about this, but this is just where I'm at right now with it. From my understanding is if you take your armor into thermal negative, meaning like you do your armor to where it says you're like 100% negative in thermal resistances, meaning if your shields go down, all they have to do is hit you with one thermal anything, and your ship's gonna die. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's not what happens. What winds up happening is the negative thermal resistances on your armor actually buff your shields higher on thermal resistance. So your shields become impenetrable by the AI.
Okay, that's...
See? So you're not even worried about your shields going away at that point.
No, that's weird.
So you're basically impervious to the AI. You'd have to really be tag teamed by quite a few ships in order for them to actually get through your ship. And most people are running a shield bank, so as soon as they do take some damage to their shield, they just pop that shield bank and they're back to top.
Oh.
So, this is why Tango doesn't, you don't see me do combat PvP. I don't do PvP.
Oh, right,
because the engineering is broken, and I don't even break my ship to be invincible against the AI, because what's the fun in that?
There is no fun in that.
I want to feel like I'm gonna die or possibly die every once in a while when I'm on combat. That's, you know, that's where the adrenaline and the dopamine and all that, you know, the rush of playing a game comes from.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yep.
So, the money part, wow, I don't want to die in this thing. Although all three of my ships are all three of my good ships, my really good ships, they're all expensive as far as rebuy cost. Technically, because I got elite rank and I have Shinrada Desra open and I'm in a squadron, my rebuy cost, as long as I'm in the sector of space that we're stationed in, I get a discount because we're in our squadron home. And then if I go to Shinrada Desra, I got a discount. I mean, there's plenty of places to have discounted insurance costs. Especially when you sign up for a faction. Usually when you sign up for a faction anywhere in that factional space, I think you get a discount on your rebuy.
Oh, okay.
So, my rebuy cost undiscounted for this is 11 mil.
Ooh.
However, when I'm back at home, it's only 7.
Even that's a lot. Crikey. Mine's 3.
My
I thought 3 was a lot.
Yeah, no, my Crate Mark II is also $7 million rebuy cost.
Okay, my rebuy
because it's engineered. Once you engineer it, dude, the cost of everything goes up. If you sell an engineered component, I was shocked, dude. I had this engineered missile rack with extended magazines and fire rate, which wound up actually not being... It was all right. Plasma accelerators are better. There's just other weapons that are actually more devastating than a missile rack. Plus... The lock-on time, I don't know. It's kind of like if you do the high-capacity magazine with a faster shooting rate, it's pleasurable. However, you've lost so much damage by doing that.
Right.
So you're really trying to make all these weapons as, you know, pretty powerful. However, there's theory. Everybody has their own theories about builds, and me personally, over the time that I've done a lot of engineering ships, I'm actually leaning towards stuff that a lot of people don't, because of the YouTube videos. Everybody kind of just goes off of what this guy said because they've seen it blow up a bunch of stuff, so they're like, yep, that's the build.
That's the build, yeah.
Well, I actually read the engineering and, you know, kind of think of, you know, you really should be thinking about what it is you're trying to do. You know, as opposed to just looking at this guy built the ship doing what he was trying to do, and you watched a video and the ship looks amazing, so you build it, but then maybe you're not really doing what he's doing in that all the time. So it was like a waste of money, waste of engineering components, so on and so forth. So one of the things that I often recommend to people on their ships, especially when you're doing fixed mount weapons, whenever you're doing combat related stuff, you probably want to build a ship that's combat related fully. Meaning, like, you bought all B Bravo class components for the most part, because those are the ones that have the highest integrity.
That might be where it's going wrong with my chieftain.
Yeah, you don't want to strip down anything. You want to double brace. You want to do fixed mount with double brace on, like, multi-cannons and stuff like that. Like, you don't have to do it for all your weapons, obviously, because there are going to be some experimentals or other things that are going to allow it to produce more damage. that you might want to go for. Every weapon doesn't have to be fixed, sturdy mount / double braced.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I do sturdy mount on my Type 10. Every one of these turrets, which by the way is a cruise ship. If you ever wanted to just jump on my ship, fly around to get the trophy.
Oh, okay.
Just send me a crew invite, and I'll invite you aboard my ship. You'll get your trophy for riding in somebody's ship.
Sweet.
And you get to control many of the turrets, and when you're in a crew, you actually get an extra pip for your power management. Yes.
Okay.
So usually when I have somebody aboard my ship, I just tell them to leave their pip into systems. Just leave your little blue pip into systems, and I'll put, and I work mine. So the purpose of the crew really, and I've always thought that was one of the greatest things they put in the game. They just didn't implement it properly, because when you crew up with somebody, the crew member that is crewed up with you is actually a hologram. So they're not actually capable of doing a lot of things. And there's other things that issues with it too, like when you go to a starport, you can't change out your weapons all of a sudden. You can't, there's everything gets locked out when you go to a starport when you're in crew. There's just a ton of stuff you can't do. That was always my big bitch. Okay, so you let us play together, but then basically you make it to where we can't do anything.
Yeah.
Which always seems like the thing with wing missions and squadrons, is they've made all these ways for people to play together. However, there's no reason to, because of all the restrictions they put in once you're a crew, or once you're a squadron, or once you're in a wing. You feel me?
Yeah, the question is, why do they do that?
Why do they do that? Why do they they want us to play together, and then they restrict the amount of things we can do together?
What's the point in that? Yeah.
That's going to change supposedly after Odyssey. When you come crewed on my ship, you will actually be a live character.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Great.
Yeah, that would be great.
Because supposedly we're supposed to be able to leave the ship together. You can actually travel on my ship, which can make you tons of money without costing you money if you're just literally a crewmate on somebody's ship. You're never using yours. And you can get, so
loads
much
of
experience, and learn things without costing you.
See, I've avoided looking at the videos, so I don't really know anything about Odyssey. I want it to be a complete surprise when I get it.
You're my favorite YouTube subscriber for Elite, bro, out of all of them, because you played the game. Now, I've told this to my buddy Militigan, who apparently doesn't know we have a chat room, or maybe he's getting yelled at by his wife again, and that's why he isn't joining. But
oh, maybe.
Yeah, since he's gotten married, he doesn't. We're not in chat.
Oh no! What did you do that for?
I know, right? But if it makes him happy and it makes him a better man, I always say a good woman makes a better man.
Oh, yeah.
It's true. I mean, it's true. Women can make you a better person.
Yeah.
Or a worse person.
Well,
they can get you to strive and care about things that you didn't care about before.
This is true.
They can make you passionate about stuff that, you just weren't even aware of.
Indeed. Like my friend
I'm
female.
not against it, but there's a certain amount of freedom that is involved when you're not with somebody that is also amazing.
Very nice. Yeah.
I mean,
so
as much
true.
as I miss being with a woman, I don't date anymore or anything. I'm 47 and I have no desire to be with a woman ever again. People are like, what? You don't want to get laid again? I was like, dude, I got laid enough between my 20s, 30s, and in my teenage years that there's men in this world that never get laid like I got laid, so I can't complain. I had a pretty whorish lifestyle as a youth. I wasn't a bad-looking dude, and I used that to my advantage. You feel me, Cubby?
Yeah. Yep.
However, I spent a lot of time dating sleazy women, which means I never really had game, or went after a woman who had self-worth or would have been a good person to be with. So relationship after relationship, when you're dealing with whores, you're going to have bad relationships, and eventually, dude, that's going to leave a sting or a salt or something where you're just not going to want to get involved anymore, right?
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at. I don't want to get involved, mainly because I think it's my own fault. It's my own choices. I've spent my entire life picking up women who are ready to spread their legs. I don't know how to pick up a woman who has self-worth. I don't know how to pick up a classy lady.
No, neither do I.
And I'm not classy, so it's like, my choices are whore or single. I'll stay single.
I don't know how to pick up anyone. That's fine. I don't really. I have a friend. Yeah.
I just unlocked the Guardian frameshift drive, bro.
Oh, sweet.
No.
I'm just not sweet.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
Oh, okay. Don't be scared. I've just landed on a planet. I'm scared because my ship might explode again. It really put me off actually landing on planets, having that thing explode on me.
I'm not a planetfall guy.
Yeah.
I do a lot of lower atmosphere cruising. If you watch some of my videos, you'll see that I'll go to geologicals or biologicals and I will not land. I will pass them bitches.
Oh,
because
okay.
the ground just looks too horrible that I'm going to either die in my SRV or I'm going to have my ship explode. There's other things I practice when I planetfall land too. I don't drive far enough away from my ship to have it go out. Never.
How far do you actually have to go?
Well, I just try to pay attention to my HUD. I max my HUD out. If you don't know how to do that, you got to go into your option menus to see how to widen your scanner out.
Oh yeah, done that.
Okay. So I always widen my scanner out so that I can keep my ship in view as I'm driving away. Once your ship gets to the edge of the scanner, you're kind of close to that range where it's going to take off. If I see it take off, I stop. I wait until I can get the recall ship, and I hurry up and recall it. And the reason why I do that is because where I landed it, in the area that I'm at is relatively flat and safe to land it.
Right.
Other than driving along, getting to a new location and realize, oh shit, I'm out of gas or I'm whatever, and I got to get my SRV back on, but I'm not anywhere close to a nice place to land my ship. So after having repeated incidences of my ships blowing up for various different reasons, now when I ground farm, I make sure, like geological sites, I park pretty close to them.
Yeah.
And then I just farm and I get back on the ship. I never go exploring like you do and leave my ship in orbit. I have had my ship run out of gas in orbit because I spent too much time on the ground.
I didn't even know that could happen. How do you even find out?
I didn't know it could happen until it ran out of gas and died. If you spend too much time on the planet, bro, you're down there, you're refueling your SRV. Think of every time you refuel your SRV, you've probably lost a pretty good amount on your ship.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Because it's in orbit.
It is in orbit, yeah. Why not? I think they should change that then. They should make it so you can tell it to stay. Why does it even go into orbit? It just doesn't make sense.
Well, so the reason why they did that, I believe, was to keep you from, while you're exploring, I think they did it to protect the explorer guys from getting their ships blown up by pirates.
Oh, yeah, I suppose that makes sense. But you should be able to turn it off if it's gonna...
Well, because you notice when it recalls, or when you dismiss your ship, if you read about it, it dismisses your ship in orbit, but nobody can fuck with it.
Yeah.
AI can't pull it over, AI can't shoot it, it's in a safe spot. And so that's why I think they did that, was to, help explorers not get fucked with so much. So I think it was a great implementation. However, the new implementation that's coming should fix the accidental slamming it into the ground and destroying your ship.
Oh, good. I've decided to continue landing anyway, but if it does explode again, I'm going to just go back to the bubble.
Well, so here's the deal though. When you go to land, dude, I would highly recommend that you do a lot of surface driving first to really find that super duper flat location.
Oh yeah.
And then every time you get to the edge of your ship on the screen, just simply drive back, get in it, and fly forward again. A little further to the next area that you want to drive around in your RV.
Okay.
It's a little less efficient, but it's a lot safer on your ship. It's just to go back, get in it, drive a little bit more forward, land again, and then go explore this next section until, like I said, your ship gets to the edge of that sensor package. And then turn around, drive back, move it forward again. It's just safer, bud.
Yeah.
No ship is, even your Python or your Phantom, when you get it back here, I'm going to take you and get you all engineered up when you get back here.
Okay.
You will love that thing even more. You will fucking love that thing even more once it's engineered, bud. If you've never driven around in a fully engineered ship, dude,
never.
You are going to be in love.
Oh, okay.
And this is why some people just stay on one ship the rest of their career after they find that one that they just love.
Okay.
It's hard to explain. I try to explain it to new players about, dude, it's not about getting a bunch of ships. This game isn't about getting a bunch of ships.
Yeah, I've never really.
It's about finding what works for you. This game is entirely about finding what works for you, whether it's the ship, whether it's the guns, whether when Odyssey comes out and it's ground-based combat, all of that I think is going to be the same. It's going to be a trial and error for each individual player to figure out what is good for what they do.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. That makes sense.
So you're Explorer by nature. You have the best ship right now in its class for doing that.
All right. Sweet.
Yeah, so you've already achieved that goal. The DBX used to be the bad boy. The Anaconda really is the one you want, bro.
Yeah.
For what you're doing.
I was thinking of getting an Anaconda, but there isn't one at Jameson.
You won't like driving it, even after it's fully engineered with grade 5 thrusters. It'll still be like driving a fucking Continent.
Okay.
However, it can do everything. Every fucking thing.
It's an everything ship.
Every fucking thing, dude. It is what the ASP Explorer is to new players, the Anaconda is to top tier players. It is the everything ship.
Right.
You know, a Fetty Corvette is literally for combat.
Yes, it is.
You know what I mean? And a cutter is for hauling cargo. Technically, that's what that ship is designed for. People turn it into a fighter, but, you know, the Anaconda is also... It also is one of the weakest ships in the game sometimes. Like, were you telling me that you killed one in your chieftain?
Yeah, I
right?
shot it in the ass. Pretty much.
What if I told you that that is actually way more common than you could possibly imagine?
Oh yeah, I imagine so, because they turn like buckets.
It's not just that. There's other things. The Anaconda's issue is armor. It has a shit ton, but when people and the AI build it to be you know, like the everything vehicle, what winds up happening is you have to take a lot of that armor away. And because you had to take a lot of that armor away, yeah, it becomes a pretty squishy bitch, and because it's slow to move and everything, you feel me?
Yeah.
You get chewed up real easy in it. So that's why I like watching a pilot, because he will tell you the good and the bads about everything. You know, I always say this about the pilot: you can tell if a ship he really likes is good, because he will start off with nothing but bad to say about it, and then turn around and tell you how great it is at the end. Or vice versa. He'll start talking really good about it, and then turn around and tell you, you know, all of its horrible features, right?
Yeah. Oops.
So far, I've found out that he's not wrong. A lot of what he says is actually right. Like, all of that shit is situational.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just is. So, depending on what your situation is, will depend on, you know, what you want. So, I don't know where to get this Guardian frameshift drive.
Oh.
I don't know where to buy it. I just unlocked it. Where do I get it?
No idea. No idea at all.
Is it... Okay, you know what? I think... It says that I can go to any outfitting to now purchase this, but I'm at the place that has everything too. This place that I keep telling you about.
Oh yeah,
Jameson's Orbital.
Jameson, yeah.
This is where you go to build ships. Like I said, it's an impingement in the fact that you will always have to come back here, kind of like how the bubble's an impingement, right? You're always going to have to keep coming back here.
Right.
Supposedly there's two stations. There's one in the Empire space that is also the same thing. However, I never hear anybody talk about that.
No, I've not heard anyone talk about it either. But then, I'm not, sort of.
Okay. I am confused now, my dude. I went and got the shock mounts and farmed all the stuff, and I
Proof?
unlocked it. I don't know.
When in doubt,
know.
when in doubt, look it up on YouTube somewhere.
That's where we're going.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let Michigan know.
30 injections. Okay. Okay. To the arse end of nowhere. That's where I'm going.
The bubble will not be as cool looking as where you're at, Cubby. Which, in a way, I kind of feel bad for you when you come back, because you're gonna see all this amazing shit, and then the next 6 months is gonna be some less amazing shit. Although I do think you will love going to these places that I have locked for you.
Yeah, I think I don't think it's going to be too disappointing. Don't worry.
No, you won't be able. Like I said, the downfall is that everything's already been scanned. You know.
Well,
so
that's all right.
But
I still get money for scanning it myself.
And you can make up to 10 million if you scan all the way out there and all the way back. You can actually make more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oops.
But I think what the cool part will be is because you've never been there, it'll be new to you regardless.
Yeah.
It just that weird feeling of something new, and there is a puzzle, if you will, that has to be solved.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
At the sites.
Ooh. Okay. I like puzzles.
So I've only been to the one site. I came back to get this done so I can get it on my chieftain, because my chieftain's going to be the guardian, or the Thargoid killer, so I'm going to put this frameshift drive on that. I don't want to put it on my Type 10 because my Type 10 doesn't have any anti-guardian, anti-xeno weapons on it. And when you put any kind of Guardian technology on your ship, Cub, you are then going to be targeted by the Thargoids. Like I'll give you an example. If you got pulled over right now by the Thargoids in your ship, they would rub their tentacles all over you and scan you. And then in 90% of the cases, as long as it's not the blue and white or the whitish blue ones, the whitish blue Thargoids, they're just gonna scan you and leave, dude. Boom, done. But if you have Guardian tech on your ship, they're going to kill you instantly.
Interesting.
Yeah, so there are many Explorer videos of people just exploring, not doing anything, not looking for Thargoids. They got the Guardian FSD because that makes your jump range jump ridiculously far.
Yep.
What's up, Militia? And then,
hi.
Yeah. So, yeah, Milishkin, Cubby, Milishkin.
Hello.
I didn't charge my headset yesterday, Milishkin. I left it off the charger all day.
Whoops.
I didn't know. And then when I came on, I was gonna stay and keep farming, bro. And then I was like, I better go back and just find out if what we've done here was actually right. And I got back here, bro, and I solved the puzzle, which is what I said it was. You got to take one of them relics and drop it on that thing. Once you got all those things lit up, right? And then this giant, well, whatever. I don't want to spoil for Cubby, but anyway, things happen. And
stuff happens.
And I thought I got my blueprint, because that's what you're there for, is to get the. That's what we were going there for, Militia. It wasn't just to farm the materials. You need those as well, but you can't build anything without the blueprint. I did not receive a blueprint, although that's where you're supposed to get it. So I think you have to farm that over and over again.
Aye.
Yeah, which is a pain in the ass. And then as far as fighting the Sentinels, dude, the only way you're going to get blown up The only way you're going to get blown up by them, like I did, is if you're in the middle when you activate all the probes. When you're in the middle, all of them come up out of the ground around you. That's why I got smoked. I couldn't get away.
Crap.
So when you activate those things, dude, make sure like you're not in the middle. When you activate the last one, you're like on the outside, so you can pick them off one by one. What? You got a point defense? Yep. See, I didn't have one on mine. It takes the missiles down, and it will kill the skimmers if you drag them over there. Yeah, they won't though. Yeah, that's why I parked mine kind of far away, dude, is because I don't have my point defense. Which, by the way, Cubby, is a good thing for an Explorer to have at least
point defense.
Point defense on their ship.
Hey, damn.
Where you're at, it's not important, bro. You're out there,
right.
There's nothing except pretty games.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing when I watched your video the other day, dude. I almost typed up, like, God, geez, look at how many stars, dude. It's so bright there.
It is really bright, yeah. It took a while to get used to as well. I was just like,
There's a glare that I don't like. Like, in the PC, I've complained about it on here. Yeah, well, no, he's cloning, dude.
Yeah, I'm on my way to a place called Moa EZBC21. It's literally like in the ass end of nowhere.
And Cubby filed a ticket. You did file a ticket, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and they gave you your ship back. That's one cool thing about the devs. They're very good about that. They responded really quickly to it.
They did, yeah. It took them less than a day.
So remember that, Militia, if you have a situation like Cubby does. Which is why I've tried to repeatedly tell people, don't send your fucking ship into orbit when you're on a planet landing. Don't drive that far away.
Because kaboom.
Sometimes when you recall your ship, if it tries to land on uneven ground, when it comes back in, it will literally explode itself. It'll fucking shank itself right off the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, the devs blamed him. That's what's funny. In the message, they said, well, clearly you tried to recall it in unsafe landing conditions or whatever. It's like, you don't blame the customer ever, dumbass.
Well, yeah, and also...
Yeah, no, you're the consumer, right? The consumer's never wrong.
Of course,
not your fault, bro.
But I was on relatively flat ground, and it landed 2.5 kilometers away. So even if I had been on flat ground, it doesn't really matter. It was going to land that far away.
Do you know it also can land on top of you and kill you?
No.
Yeah, sometimes when you recall it, it will literally come right over top of you and smash you.
Oh, wonderful. Great.
So this is why you always see Tango in his videos. Like, I'm always, like, I'll stop and I'll make sure that my ship is still on my sensor package. And if you ever see it get dismissed, I just sit there for a second with the menu out and recall it immediately. I know that that's an issue. And at 11 million rebuy cost, I'm really not looking to watch my Type 10 spike itself into a planet.
Yeah, no, you
I would
really...
film it though. If I seen it come in, you know how you hear it, and it comes in.
Ship destroyed.
Film this thing. Oh, look at it's cruising. Oh yeah, boom, there it goes.
Well, I didn't have my microphone on, but you can kind of see it on the video.
I don't think I'm gonna watch your videos anymore, dude. That's twice in a row I've watched your videos and you've exploded. Seriously, I thought about that immediately after. I'm like, wait, last time I watched his video, dude, he exploded too.
Explosion.
Maybe I'm bad luck. Maybe I should watch while he's streaming. I should make sure I watch after he streams. So here's the situation right now, Militigan. I cannot get the Gauss cannons because it says that I do not have a blueprint. Although when I did the mystery, it said I gained a blueprint.
That's odd.
When I come here to try to get the Gauss cannons, it says I'm missing the Guardian weapon blueprint, which is what I received when I finished it's what I received when I finished the mission, or finished the puzzle.
Whoops. Oh, I hate trying to map gas giants. Yeah, I can never get the efficiency bonus either, especially when they got a ring in the middle.
Oh, well, I'll show you how to do that. Dude. That's because you use that Super Cruise Assist, bro. That's why. And
I
if you
know.
want the efficiency bonuses, you got to learn how to stop right when you're in range
Yeah.
and do it from a distance. And you will usually only spend, on small planets, you only spend 2 if you have your sensor package all done up with the wide angle.
Oh,
Engineered with
wide
the wide
angle.
angle.
Oh, I
Yeah,
haven't got
dude, you
that
want
engineered.
that.
The
Oh,
only
yeah,
thing,
you want that.
the only thing I've got engineered is
Frame shift drive.
no, I think I've got my shield generator, frame shift drive, and my thrusters. Oh no, they're not. Oh, I thought I did those as well. Maybe not. Oh well. Yeah, so just my frame shift drive and the shields for some strange reason. Don't know
So
why.
your shields, you want to
No idea why.
with your shields, dude, you're going to get thermal resistance on there for your Explorer ship on your shields. You want to get a lot of thermal
okay.
resistance on that, and that will keep you from heating up real bad when you're fuel scooping.
Okay. That makes sense. Ooh.
Yeah, you put some thermal block on there, some thermal resistance, maybe you got
Sun
a shield
cream.
booster, thermal block on that. You don't have to worry about kinetic or explosion resistances on your Explorer ship.
No. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Just give it some sun cream.
Yeah.
Sunblock.
I'm still trying to figure out why I can't. I unlocked the FSD.
Right.
Where to? Yeah, I unlocked it, but now I don't know where it's at to buy it.
Oh. Somewhere.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
Wow, these things are massive. Whee!
So this doesn't make sense though. It says you can purchase it from a technology broker after you've unlocked it. It must be first unlocked through a technology broker. Purchase locations. It says Shanada Desera, Jameson's Memorial. Okay, and I'm here. And I've unlocked it. Let me go back into contacts here. Go into technology broker. It's no longer listed in here. Like, it's not listed in here as an unlockable item.
Hey.
So how do I purchase it then?
Sounds like a bug. It's conked out on you. Boo. I really like Mr. Krabs. He's a good ship. When I first bought it, I was a bit unsure whether I actually liked it or not, but I do.
Oh, you'll get used to it.
Oh yeah, oh, I definitely like it. I like it a lot. I think when I get back to the bubble, I'll keep this for.
Uh-oh. But this was just recently. This was on the 7th. Somebody posted that they're having the same problem. I have all the items they want, but the drive is not there.
I wonder if my friend's going to play tonight. When he gets back from cleaning trains. Choo choo.
Yeah, I gave that. Somebody had a tough time at the Guardian place with the missiles, dude. They're bitching. If fucking missiles bounce you all around, damn it, what the fuck? I just unlocked the Guardian FSD booster over at Ray Gateway or in the blah 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 sector, and there was an option to go there to outfitting, so I thought, okay. This is me writing this pretty much. So I thought,
yeah.
Okay. There's nothing there. I tried looking in Inara, see greetings for the module. I tried searching the Frontier forums, but they also talk about how to unlock it. I feel there's something about applying the tech broker modules that everyone is aware of, and I am not seeing it. How do I install this FSD booster? It's not in the FSD section. It goes in an optional internal slot, like a cargo rack or a shield. No! No!
What's up?
No, I don't want to sacrifice an optional for this thing. What kind of fucking happy is this?
Whoops.
FSD booster. Okay, so apparently, it is definitely an optional. Guardian Frameshift Drive 3H booster puts me up to 37 light years, so it's only giving me 7 light years extra on a 3H.
Oh,
all right.
I've only got 34 light years at the moment.
Well, I'm assuming they have a larger one. They only go up to 5. The 5 will get this ship to jump 40 light years.
Nice.
That's it. That's not worth it to me. So, let's get the Chieftain over here.
Chieftain.
Actually, whoa, maybe. Melissa, let me ask you a question. If you were about to put this on one of your ships, knowing damn well that there's a good chance that you'll get hyperdicted by a fucking Thargoid and blown up, and you have no anti-Xeno weapons yet, what would you put it on?
Good answer.
Touche, bro. Touche. Alright. Fucking. I was in a really horrible mood yesterday, Milishkin, that's why I didn't play. I have a toxic family. Milishkin knows all about it. But you don't, Cubby. So just for the record, Tango has a lot of anger issues due to his family dynamic. My mother, since I was 9 years old, I have always known has been a very self-centered, egotistical, materialistic, manipulative, toxic mother.
Oh.
And she has manipulated her children against each other for decades. Like, she does this thing where she lies about us to each other. So, like, today she'll have to drop my nephew off at my sister's, and she'll go down there and she'll bitch about what I don't do. Like, all the shit I don't do. My mom is one of the laziest people you will ever meet in your life. She does nothing, and has done nothing even when my dad was alive. She is lazy.
Oh, wow.
Prima donna, okay? I do everything around this house. The only reason I still live here is because if I don't, she's alone. This place will turn into a hoarder, and she can't protect herself.
Good son, then.
You know, she's old. Oh, no. I'm the Jew in the basement that doesn't do a fucking thing around here. Although the lawn is always cut, the dishes are always done, the trash is always taken out, and all the financials are always handled.
Okay.
But I don't do anything. You feel me?
Yeah, I feel you.
And then when she gets home, she's going to do the same thing to me. She's going to talk shit about my sister to me. Except the difference is, and she's always had this problem as me, is I don't engage it. I don't talk back. I don't say, oh yeah, you're right. I don't talk shit about my sister like that. I don't engage in this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I try to keep myself clean from all that. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I'll be out there in 1 second. All right. I gotta go pick up my stuff. So anyway, yesterday my nephew, who's a blessing, you know, but unfortunately he needs to keep his mouth shut. He decided to tell me about all the shit that my mom was talking about me all last week while I was driving to the hyperbaric gym. I don't.
You cut out. Hello.
Tell it was pissing. Limit. Second.
Okay. Oh no. No, it doesn't. Tango is down. Tango, come back. Doesn't sound like it. Oh wow, that's not a lot. Not in this game anyway. I remember when I used to think 1 million was pretty good, but yeah, now I don't. Yeah, literally, yeah. I was like, woo, 1 million quid, nice. I can buy pretty much nothing with it, but yay. Now, I mean, I still don't actually have that much money compared to a lot of people. Ooh, I just found a neutron star. Is that what they're called? Is that what they're called? That's the ones, yeah. Is it called? Yeah, neutron star. Sweet stars. Yeah. Oh, and it's there's 2 of them. Ooh. Oh no, one's a white dwarf. One's a white dwarf and one's a. Yeah. Oh, it's already been discovered by Dub Station. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I haven't discovered it. That's pretty cool though. I haven't found any black holes yet. I'm on my way to Sagittarius A star though. In a really the black hole, yeah. But I'm going in a really roundabout way. I'm going sort of down, as it were. And then I'm going to go up, if that makes sense at all, to where it actually is. So I'm 300 and something jumps from this random star selected, and then from there it'll probably be like another couple of 100 jumps to actual Sagittarius A star. I have no idea. 20,000 light years. Yeah. Yeah, that's the max. This is only 11,000, so that's cool. But I've only got a 34 light year jump range. So, but I figured I'd discover more if I did it that way anyway, so it's cool. I don't want like 1 million billion. Yeah, literally. It's cool. It's half the fun. It's just that was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. I landed on a planet. I have this thing for driving down into the bottom of craters, and I got to the bottom. My ship had obviously taken off, and I called it back, and then I watched it just like fly into the ground and explode. And I'd been exploring for about a week, and I was like, no, my data. Yeah. So Tango said, just contact them and tell them what happened, and they'll give it you back. And they did, so that was cool. Wasn't quite so bad, but yeah. So I got my rebuy back, and I got 21 million credits of what's it called? Exploration data. Yeah, so I was like, sweet. But yeah, there's not actually a whole hell of a lot to actually spend it on anyway, so it's just Crate Phantom. I went to Colonia in a DBX, got here, and it was cool and everything, but I don't know. It had a few shortcomings, and I just decided I needed something more expensive, and I sort of decided to get a crate because I'd never had one before. That was pretty much it. Yeah, I made 100 million credits when I got to Colonia, which was amazing. I'd never even made like 10 million before, so I was like, nice, and thought I'd splash out, you know, and just went, yeah, I'll get one of these because I can. And yeah, I got it, and when I first got it I was like, I'm not sure if I actually like it. I was like, it's a bit weird, but it's grown on me so much so that I have named it Mr. Krabs. So well, actually Tango named it, but I actually finally worked out how to actually name a ship like in game. So yeah, it's cool. And I convinced my friend to play it as well. So he's on his way to Colonia in exactly the same ship, and he doesn't even have a engineered frameshift drive. He's literally doing it stock, pretty much. Yeah, oof.
Sorry, guys.
Hi. No worries.
He's a yapper.
Woof woof.
He is a yapper.
Like dog yappy, or I'm confused.
Oh, he just talks a lot. It's my
your nephew.
It's my weed guy. Cody.
Oh, your weed guy.
My
Oh,
marijuana dude.
sweet.
Delivers.
Nice.
Yes. Well, because I'm not a drinker, right? Everybody's got a vice. I smoked marijuana when I was younger because I had a real bad asthma, and I was told by a doctor that if I continued to smoke it, my asthma would go away. So he wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong.
Oh, okay.
But
cool.
By the time I was 19, I had my last asthma attack. I can remember it like it was yesterday, and it wasn't even a full-blown asthma attack. It was like a wheezing. I just had I was wheezing. Like, that's usually what happens before you start to have it. You start wheezing pretty heavy, and then, lack of oxygen, your lungs start to swell up really bad.
And
worst thing in the world.
out.
I would never wish that on anybody.
Yep.
Seriously, not even my worst enemy. I would never wish asthma on anybody. It is consistently like
nasty.
Having someone choking you out, or not choking you out, because it has nothing to do with your throat. It feels like you inhaled like 100 grit or like 60 grit sandpaper, and then at the same time you're inhaling this sandpaper, you have an elephant sitting on your chest.
Ouch. Very ouch.
It was very painful. I'd been to the hospital a couple times, had to get shots. Collapsed lung.
Ooh, nasty. I don't have asthma, but I have half-sized lungs. No, not COPD. I was born 8 weeks premature, so my lungs haven't developed properly. So I wheeze like an old man. And
you have small lungs.
Yeah, I have small lungs. Yeah.
There's nothing you can really do about that.
No, not
smoke
really.
Mullen. You could probably smoke Mullen every once in a while.
Oh, what's that?
Mullen?
Yeah,
Mullen is,
never heard of it.
Well, one, it's the world's greatest toilet paper. Natural toilet paper. Mullen leaves are really big, and they're velvety. And they make really good ass wipe. If you're out in the forest, but when it's dry, mullein can be toxic. You have to look it up, to know what to harvest and what to smoke.
Right.
But Native Americans used to use it to clean their lungs out.
Oh,
and
nice.
I've smoked it. I'm Native American, so that's kind of why I know about it. Not because I'm Native American, actually, because some non-Native American told me about it. He said, "You don't smoke mullein, dude?" I said, "No, I've never even heard of it." He's like, "Oh, it's a Native American thing. I'm surprised you don't know about it." It's like, well, I also don't wear a fucking headdress either, bud.
True.
So we went out and picked some one winter.
Yeah.
Rolled it up and smoked it, and amazingly, this shit is like made to be smoked. You can't tell me
Oh.
that your lungs don't, when you inhale that shit wasn't made to be inhaled. It is
Hey.
so smooth. It is not abrasive. You do not cough. It is not it's crazy. It feels like it's meant to go down there and come out.
Oh, interesting.
I smoke cigarettes, bro. Well, I used to smoke cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I quit cigarettes. I vaped for 10 years, which was cool. It did get me off of cigarettes. However, there's a downside to vaping that I just can't take, and that is the scumming up the front of your teeth.
The brownie, like,
The
sort of-
juice winds up drying up on your teeth. You don't even realize that you're talking to people, and it looks like your teeth are rotting.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
So, and that comes from vaping. Like, you don't even realize that you're vaping, and all of a sudden you just happen to glance in the mirror and you're like, oh God, what the fuck is wrong with your teeth?
Ah.
And it wipes right off. You know, it's just like it's almost like a syrup because of the
Oh,
sugars
okay.
and the fluid. So I went back to smoking cigars. People are like, well, that's horrible. Yes, it is. But Tango also doesn't want to live forever either. I ain't trying to be here till I'm 90.
Fair enough.
What government? But if I make it that long, dude, we're gonna have a one world government. So
Oh.
yeah, and don't take that sad, dude. Like my desire to die. I ain't looking to die right this moment, but I ain't looking to stay here forever either.
Yeah, I'm not looking to live forever. No.
No,
My
everything
friend.
dies here. Why would you want to stay here forever?
Exactly, it's part of the big thing.
Plus, I believe in God. I'm a God believer guy, Cubby.
Okay.
So a lot of why my attitude is the way it is because I believe in the Word of God. I know people think it's crazy, but I wasn't raised as a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't become a Christian until I was in my mid-30s. I had an event.
An event.
That left me with,
Epiphany.
I like to call it an event. Epiphany means you came to a positive conclusion. I did not necessarily come to a positive conclusion because the realization that you're a piece of shit, you know, everybody's a piece of shit. They just don't want to admit it.
Mm.
Cubby, we all think dirty things, right? We all think nasty things about people.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
Here's what's interesting about the Bible. In the Old Testament, you actually had to do the sin to get in trouble for it, right? And
Yeah.
make up for it. However, when Jesus came along, that changed. Jesus flat out said, if you think it, you've already done it.
He made it even harder. Oh shit. Hold on, not to change subject. I'm flying straight towards a...
Not harder. He
Hmm.
just makes it understandable. Dude, if you're an angry person, murder doesn't come without anger. So to be an angry person means you're basically the equivalent to a murderer. Because you can't murder people unless you have this extensive amount of anger. Feel me? Murder wouldn't exist if people weren't angry. Yeah, well, I mean, we could go into translations. Right. We can go into translations and how that's all fucked up and why most people don't want to touch the Bible. However, as me and Michigan believe, you just pick it up, you read it for yourself, and the message will be received.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to pastors and stuff like that, they're going to doctrinate you to their doctrine of their church, which will include the Bible. However, it might not be God's doctrine. And I think a lot of Christians realize that when they're at some of these churches, is that after a while they start realizing the pastor's not really teaching the doctrine right. He's just preaching to get that money.
Ah, yes. Money.
So Tango doesn't go to buildings called churches because that's not what a church is. A church
No.
is the body of believers grouped together. So, like, if you believe in Jesus, I believe in Jesus, and Michigan believes in Jesus, then technically, according to the Bible,
This is
Yeah,
a church. Welcome to church.
yep, and that can be anywhere.
Aye.
Yep. So, but Tango's
Oh.
still a piece of shit of a person, potty mouth, you know, smoke marijuana, porn, twerking.
Boy.
Well, I don't really do a lot of that anymore either. Not because of guilt. I know a lot of people say, well, that's because of guilt. You just feel guilty because you're God. No, actually, I feel like it's a respect thing. He's not wrong. The shit is bad. It doesn't do good for you. we as people, we just like to put levels on things to make ourselves feel better about a lot of shit that we do as bad.
Hmm.
For instance, my gay lover, as I always say it, my gay lover Lucky on my subscriptions on my YouTube channel. I have this gay Japanese fan, okay, which I find very interesting because in the Bible there is a point where Paul was specifically told not to preach the gospel to the Far East and Russia.
Oh,
There's
okay.
reasons behind it.
Interesting.
And there is some very interesting stuff if you were to do like some kind of, I guess, fringe research, Cubby, on Vietnam, China, Japan, and the ancient stuff that is in those countries that we're technically really not allowed to go check out. And Tango believes that's some of the oldest stuff ever, especially in India. India is far more interesting than fucking Egypt.
Oh, India's fascinating.
But they don't ever broadcast, like, like on YouTube channels for History Channel and stuff like that. It's always about Egypt. It's always about the pharaohs. Because that's
yes.
the bloodline that we're talking about, your royal bloodline over there, the pharaohs.
Okay.
The 13...
Oh,
the 13 bloodline, the Illuminati bloodline, the 13
okay, yeah.
DuPonts, Windsor, Rothschilds. Well, that's what I believe they come from, bro. If you read the Bible in Genesis chapter 6, it says, as man began to multiply across the face of the earth, the sons of God saw that the daughters of men were fair and took themselves wives, all of which they chose and bore themselves offspring. And God has repeatedly in the Bible let you know that there are tares in the wheat. Tares look just like wheat, for the record, Cubby. I'm not sure if you know this.
No, I don't.
But it's a weed. It's a weed that winds up looking just like wheat until it's harvested. And that is, God says there's tares in the wheat, meaning like there are people here that look like us, dude. They're human being looking, but they're not us. They come from a different bloodline. They're not written in the book of life. And they rule the world.
That's kind of
Now
creepy.
I'm going to trip you out even further that there's a lizard connection here, bro.
I've heard of the lizard thing.
Yeah, reptilians that run the world.
Yeah.
And this is usually considered a conspiracy theorist, but if you're a researcher like I am, you have to take everything objectively, dude. You know what I mean? You have to be objective, have an open mind.
Yeah.
So when I heard about these reptoids, I laughed at first, but because I'm a researcher, I'm like, you got to research it before you laugh at it. You got to at least have some information to debate somebody about a subject.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. So
Definitely.
lo and behold, dude, I was shocked to find out that every ancient culture throughout the entire Earth has written about lizard people that live under the ground, and most cultures considered these beings to be divine, and they had this amazing technology.
Oh, a bit like the Goa'uld.
Now, if you can think back to when you were young, and Sleestacks, if you can think back to when you were young, Cubby, and all the lizard people inundation you witnessed throughout media, whether it's the Sleestacks from the Land of the Lost, or whatever the ones in the X-Men were that lived in the sewers, which were also lizard people, or any of your Star Treks,
and Stargate.
which they always have, Stargate, they always have 3 fingers and 3 toes, and that is actually even written in history, that these Naga, the serpents, the Naga is what the Indians called them, not Native Americans.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They call them the Naga, and they have the most extensive history on them, as far as, what's written down. And that goes further east. Well, let me tell you some weird things about the Bible. Do you know in the very beginning of the Bible, in Genesis, God casts something out of heaven. And the thing he cast out, he calls the Great Dragon. Now, I'm going to tell you something creepy. Chinese believe that their first emperor was created when a great dragon fell from the sky and had sex with a woman and bore their first emperor.
Oh.
They worship the dragon in Asia, in Asian countries.
Yeah. They do. Yeah, that's...
Okay. Okay, then you have the Tibetan monks who have been hiding something in the mountains for thousands of years. And the Chinese have actually been trying to get into those mountains for thousands of years.
They have, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
those mountains, there's caves in those mountains. And, you know, it's funny because I say this all the time about how media tells you the truth, but they do it in science fiction and action flicks so you'll never believe it because it's a fucking movie.
Yeah.
And all your real lies are told on the news. That's all your propaganda in every country, including ours. All right?
Oh.
So, there was a movie that Mr. Keanu Reeves starred in, I think it was, and it has to do with these Tibetan monks, and he's learning how to become this, you know, master martial artist. And then when he meets this monk, the monk is it's a being. Let's put it that way. That kind of looks like a lizard.
Oh. What film is this?
I can't remember. I will find out for you, though. I will.
Okay.
It's not a top tier film. I would say it's probably more in the B line of films, but it did have Keanu fucking Reeves in it.
Keanu Reeves. Oops, I crashed.
Who also is another, in my opinion, Luciferian promoting actor, where he constantly is promoting the Luciferian ideals. John Wick is the true Luciferian. All the people that love John Wick. Well, the Luciferian belief is that anybody that crosses you, you destroy them. You destroy them.
Oh.
In Christianity, you forgive them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In the Luciferian belief, you are nice to people until they cross you, and then you are to destroy them.
Oh.
Their life, their family, everything they're about, you are to bury them.
Oh, I'm kind of a well, I'm not really a pacifist, but I'm not really violent. I believe in self-defense.
I'm a natural protector, bro. I'm violent, but only in the regards of protecting the weak. If I see somebody get picked on or whatever, I'm the type that gets real fired up, bro.
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean.
I won't pick on your own size kind of guy, even when the guy's bigger than me.
Yeah, I won't like go out and start a fight, but if someone attacks me, I'll attack them back. Right. Yeah.
So there is some validity to this belief that we are being ruled by lizard people. And honestly, dude, if you really think about where the world's heading, conspiracy or not, dude, that's not really an insane belief. Why would human beings as a species go on this inevitable course to self-destruction? No other animal on this fucking planet does that.
Yeah, this is true.
So why would human beings be the only ones that do it? Unless it was a different race of people causing this to happen. You know, they're looking at it territorially. You people don't belong here. This is our land. And that's what the bloodline believes. Did you know the red carpet has to do with that? Which came from the royals. That's all esoteric speaking, esoteric secret knowledge. So the red carpet stands for the bloodline, and every time the red carpet is rolled out, it always ascends stairs. If you ever notice, there's always stairs that it goes up. And it has to, because that's part of the ritualistic nature of the red carpet rollout, is you are ascending up the bloodline. That is the esoteric secret knowledge of it, is that when you're watching somebody walking the red carpet, typically that means they're ascending a place of power.
Hey. Well, that I didn't know.
Yeah, I know. Tango's a crazy cat.
No. It's interesting. I like
that. What is the main icon on England's flag? What is the Queen? What is on her flag?
On her flag,
is it not the red dragon?
Wait.
Doesn't she have a white and red flag that is a red dragon on it?
A red and white flag? Not that I know of, no. There's the Welsh flag.
You know what I'm talking about? Oh, is it supposed to be a lion?
Yeah. Hold on, let me look it up. Do you mean her standard?
Well, everything was called a dragon up until the word dinosaur came about. Which
That's
people
true.
don't understand that concept. So, a griffin was a real-life animal, by the way.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
All that
It's
Greek mythology, you can read that shit while you're reading Genesis in the Bible, and it's during the same time when God's telling you that there were abominations created on the earth. When it tells a story of, I forget who's going to this town, man. I got to go back and read the Bible. There's a guy going to a town, and an angel like warns him or something about going to this town. And as they're describing the town, they say even the satyrs played there. Do you know what a satyr is, dude?
I know what I say. The plate is.
A satyr, just a satyr.
No. Oh.
A satyr is a half goat, half man that usually plays a stringed instrument.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it told this guy that on his way there that you're going to a place of abomination, and even the satyrs play there. It says that these fallen angels sinned against all flesh, meaning they somehow had sex with everything.
Oh wow, lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's also the fact that we are in a sealed environment, and that
Yeah,
I
that's
say
true.
they'll tell us we're not, but God made a firmament to seal us in, to protect us from the waters above, to divide the waters from the waters. And because we're in this sealed environment like an atrium, bro, I want you to think scientifically here about the reduction of water on the planet and what that would incur in the atmosphere of the planet. If you reduce those sea levels of this planet, what is going to happen in the atmosphere? Because air is still liquid, bro. You're trading one liquid for another.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You would have an increase in oxygen density. Basically, the atmosphere would get really dense.
Bigger
With less
animals.
Oh,
Yeah.
you just hit the nail on the head, bud. And where are all these ancient sites they keep finding in the ocean? How many miles down?
Very, very far.
And in the Bible, when the water came back, which every ancient culture has written about a deluge, and almost every ancient culture's story sounds a lot like Noah, where the dude built the boat, got on the boat with his wives, and saved all the animals.
Yeah,
That's
that's
from east
true.
to west, bro. Okay? But God never says in the Bible that the waters drop back down to their original location or they drop back down to a certain number. It just said they receded till dry land appeared.
Yeah, this is true.
So now you have less oxygen, so you can't support giants that were 400 feet tall. It says that giants were sometimes as big as the cedars of Lebanon.
Oh wow. Okay.
The largest giant in there is listed in cubits, and I did the measurements on it. It's over 400 feet tall, bro.
That's big.
Which would make sense why all these monolithic structures had doorways that were over 160 foot in height. And why, things like the pyramids were built. It would make total sense if there were giants picking up those blocks and moving them around, wouldn't it?
It would, yeah. It would not surprise me, let's put it that way.
And then how come we're supposed to be the most technologically advanced civilization that's ever lived on the planet, but we can't build earthquake-proof fucking structures like they did in Machu Picchu and fucking anywhere on the 33rd degree parallel, by the way? All
I don't
ancient
know.
structures that withstood catastrophic events on the Earth are all around the 33rd degree parallel.
Oh,
Every
okay.
one of them. That's why the CDC in America is on the 33rd degree parallel, along with some various other strategically placed U.S. Armed Forces locations. Because they know
Oh.
damn well that's a safe zone for cataclysmic events, for whatever reason.
Ooh.
And COVID spells combat operational virus infectious disease number 19, soon to be 20, 21, 22, so on and so forth.
Oh yeah.
Nah, I bet they'll go to 23 because 23 is one of their Luciferian numbers because 2 times 3 equals 6. The Luciferian numbers are always the key. Like the people that just got bulldozed in San Diego, 369, buddy. 369. You'll notice that a lot in your false flag events. They'll always use those numbers. 19 for their 9/11, all of that.
Oh.
33 because of the Masonic Order. Esoteric, bud. They talk in symbols and signs. That's why they have us all duped. It's easier to convince people, or it's easier to fool people than convince them they've been fooled.
Okay.
So, the world is not what you think it is. It actually goes by maritime law. 90% of the world goes by maritime law, and you have to know how to speak legalese and all this other shit to really understand what's going on in this country. And it's not much different in your country. It's just written different. Like I tell friends of mine from Canada who always sit there and bitch about what America's always doing. Yeah. I'm like, you guys are doing the same thing. You just write it different into your laws. You guys have the same Patriot Act fucking law over there. It's just not called the Patriot Act.
Oh. Which...
Right, and they're still ruled by the Queen. Oh, and by the way, so are we, if you didn't know that.
What? Ruled by the Queen?
Yeah. Why do you think our new president always has to meet with the Queen and the Pope? Always. Every time we have a new president, they have to meet with the Queen and the Pope. Do you know why? Because those are your one world orders. There are 3 places on the earth that operate outside of the countries they're in as their own entities. The District of Columbia here in the United States is its own entity. It does not belong to the United States, yet our government is ran out of there. It has its own laws, its own rules, regulations. It's basically its own country. The Vatican is the same way, and there's London City.
London City.
The U.S. will be the world's police force. We already are. We have bases stationed everywhere in the world.
Yeah, you got one just right.
So there's your one world order police. Your one world religion, you will pray to Lucifer, will be headed up through the Vatican. And then your one world monetary system will be headed up by London City.
Because it's got the big financial thingamajigger. Yep.
It's easier to convince or fool people than to convince they've been fooled, bro. Just remember that. So, like, if you try to tell people this stuff, they're just going to tell you you're fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah, they will just tell you you're crazy.
Because it's easier to tell somebody they're crazy. It's dismissive. You're crazy, done. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But half of these conspiracies that people are talking about aren't conspiracies. The reason they're called conspiracies is because the elites and everything, they label things. It's a situation of tomato. You say tomato, they say tomato. You type up tomato, you get a different amount of information. You type up tomato, you get another type of information. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And I can prove this very simply. If you take your tablet and type in chemtrails, every article that comes up on chemtrailing will be called a conspiracy. However,
chemtrails.
If you type in stratospheric aerosol injection / geoengineering, none of that will be a conspiracy, and you will find out that your boy Bill Gates invested in it about 2 years ago, right before we had the pandemic, right before he did the drill in downtown New York 2 months before the pandemic, which was a pandemic drill. And then he created a fucking organization specifically designed for vaccinations 10 years in advance because he supposedly predicted this.
He knew it was coming? Is this Bill
it's
Gates?
called the Great Cleansing, bro. They're going to get rid of 90% of the population by poisoning us with cancer.
My mum's had cancer.
We all have it right now.
Oh.
The infection rate of what they've been spraying on us for the last 20 years has a 98% infection rate at this amount of time of spraying. We're at 98%. This is why everything politically is speeding up in such a fucking shit show, like a non-believable kind of cartoon-ish fashion. And that's because they don't care anymore. They don't have to care anymore because the public has been infected. There's only a matter of time before any of us will be strong enough to combat this. This is the goal. By 2025, the Luciferians believe that their guy is supposed to reign. This is why I tell people it doesn't matter whether you believe in God or not. It does, but to you it won't. Until that day comes where you realize he's real and you've ignored him your entire life. Yeah. When they tell you gotta worship Lucifer, dude, it's gonna make the God, the the Christian God.
Judeo.
I couldn't get it, dude. I couldn't get it.
That's alright.
It will make him very real because you can't have one without the other. That's why Christianity has never been abolished from the planet, because the Luciferians can't afford it to be.
Oh,
Their
okay.
God comes from our God. They have to manipulate the scripture. You feel me? That's their best tool, is to manipulate the scripture, which they do very well. Through poor translation, crappy pastors.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's fallible, so you should never put your pastor on a pedestal, like, because he's preaching the word of God, that somehow he's like Jesus.
Yeah.
He's still a human being that's infallible, so you know, you still got to cut the guy some slack. I mean, he's going to pay, technically according to the Bible, he's going to pay a bigger punishment for leading his flock wrong than the flock is going to pay for being wrong. Yeah, but if he's just making honest mistakes, that's different. You know what I mean? As opposed to agenda-related mistakes. There's some shit about witchcraft, dude, about the left hand and the right hand, about receiving and giving.
Yeah.
That pastors do inside the church. One of the hands is you raise in a witch, you know, you're basically doing like a spell, and you raise that hand, and that is the receiving hand. But you have everybody else in the crowd raise their giving hand first in some way, shape, or format. So you'll just say something like, everybody in here that agrees with this, go ahead and raise your right hand. Feel me? And you get, you know, them to raise their hand, and then later in your sermon, you raise your left hand, and therefore the spell has been initiated and people will give.
Oh. Sneaky stuff. Yeah, that's sneaky.
That's why there's been a big promotion in witchcraft. You notice during the Trump administration, they were calling all witches to cast spells against him getting into office.
Oh, no.
That's why Harry Potter came out. It's because they want kids to get into witchcraft. They want to normalize witchcraft for them. Well, this shit supposedly doesn't work, right? There is no God, right? That's what the people always want to say.
Yeah.
Your entire generation, if you go back and look at it, dude, you've been indoctrinated into Luciferianism without even realizing it. That's what TV does. If you knew anything about theta and beta and delta waves, yeah, as soon as your TV comes on, it puts off a theta wave that causes you to sit in front of it.
Oh, like now.
Like any game. Any game, video, movie, TV, as soon as the TV powers up, it puts off that wave automatically.
Oh.
And it makes you complacent. It makes you sit there. You feel me?
Yeah.
And then if you ever look into mind control through light, because people, you know, they don't want to admit mind control exists, but they also don't want to look at it. You know what I mean? Like, again, you can't debate something if you're not going to research it first. You got to have an argument.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, if you research mind control, you'll find out that the United States government has spent billions of dollars on it, and they've even hired people to see if they could do it through smell. And these people were successful. They were making people die hysterically laughing through scent.
Oh, lovely.
Microwave energies can fuck with the body and the mind to produce a certain effect, which is, you know, a type of mind control. You can get masses to be on edge 99% of the time by affecting their sleep patterns, and when you're around a cell phone tower, if you take a Geiger counter with you, you will notice that the amount of radiation just continually increases. It never stabilizes. It just keeps going up the longer you stand there. And you personally, physically don't feel anything, but if they were to put an EKG monitor on your nervous system, your nervous system would be going ape shit, bro. It's going crazy.
I'm due to have a EEG in about a month's time.
Yeah. So when you're around high frequency ranges like that, it will cause your nervous system to go apeshit. Okay? Which can cause all kinds of things like cancer. It can cause all kinds. It can make you go crazy. Being around too much electricity can make you go crazy because of the magnetic field that it generates, which they want to talk about making a grid and every car being electric. Think about how much magnetic field that's going to create. And people will go batshit crazy for no reason.
Hey. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah.
I know, dude. Tango's got full of fucking... But I would be listened to as literally a nutbag, bro. They would be like, this guy is so fucking out there. However, I've done my research, and I don't feel I need to prove anything to anybody anymore. I used to try to pound this shit into people's heads, but you know what? We're where we're at right now because people are lazy and they just don't want their comfort shuttled. You know, people... if this is all true, that's going to ruin a lot of people's comfort zones. You feel me?
Yeah. It's going to make everybody really, 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 really uncomfortable.
Yeah, people might actually have to fucking work and live. You know what I mean?
And do things, yeah. Right, that's it. I'm going to Scotland.
Well, you don't want to go there.
Oh, why
That's
not?
the Scottish Rite, bro.
Scottish what, sorry?
The Scottish Rite.
What's
Masonry. The head of Masonry?
that? Oh, no.
Masons believe in, they worship Lucifer and they follow basically the doctrine of Solomon. King Solomon.
Oh, okay. I know who King Solomon
Read about
is.
King Solomon in the Bible. At some point, King Solomon was like, he was blessed and blessed and blessed by God, right? Over and over again. Just this guy was amazingly blessed. Am I wrong, Michigan, right? He was blessed.
Yeah.
God let him do a lot of things. He was very wealthy. And then at some point it says, that he had done wickedness in the sight of God. And it doesn't really elaborate much more after that. However, if you do some research on Solomon, you will find a book called The Keys of Solomon. And that has to do with demonic sigils and the raising of demons and commanding them to do your work.
Okay.
Which is what I believe he was accused of doing. I believe his Solomon's temple was actually built by demons. He was commanding demons to do his work for him. And that was the evil in the sight of the Lord. If you've never had a demonic encounter, bro, first of all, don't be scared.
I've had a ghostly encounter.
Well, that's the same thing.
Oh, okay. That was about it.
So when the Nephilim were killed off, the Bible says that they're the only things that roam the earth in a spirit fashion are the disembodied spirits of the Nephilim.
Oh, okay.
And because demons know you from the time of your birth, they will often portray themselves as lost family members, or friends.
Mm-hmm.
This is why God tells you to stay away from familiar spirits. Obviously, if your dad's dead and you start having ghostly encounters and seeing your dad, that's not your dad, dude. That's a demon portraying himself as your dad, and he's going to say things that only your dad would know. Because he knew him before he was born, too. Yes. Yeah, there's all those. Or the X-Men, in generally. That has to do with your genes, right? They're talking about... matter of fact, your vaccination that they're pushing right now is actually gene therapy. It's not a vaccination. If it was a vaccination, that implies a resistance to said virus forever. That's a permanent resistance. That's what vaccinations do. They permanently make you unaffected to said virus for the rest of your life. That's why you get them. Except that's not what's going on. They're trying to change your DNA. And this COVID vaccination is an RNA. RNA vaccination changes it, literally deletes some of your DNA and changes it with God knows what, bro. It's usually animal biological tissue. And if you don't believe me, look it up.
I don't know.
This is why they're not forcing people to have it, because they can't. They can't do that yet. They're not at a point where the Bible says that they will cause man to have to get something in order to buy or sell. The mark of the beast, they call it. I believe the mark of the beast will be a piece of technology that will probably more than likely be the Neuralink that Mr. Luciferian Elon Musk is offering. This device that will turn your brain into a cell phone. Because in the Bible it says that the masses will want this thing. It doesn't say that you'll be forced to have it and you won't want it. You'll be forced to have it, but it says that the masses will want this thing. Tangle believes that the demons are in the technology. Lucifer fell from the sky like a bolt of lightning.
Electricity.
Demonic sigils often look like electrical schematics. And I believe it's all technology. It's the fruit from the Apple, the company. The fruit was not a fruit at all. It was technology, is what they absorbed. And the more technology we absorb, the further away from God we get. Because the technology can do it for us. Especially if we can learn to live forever, right?
Yes, that makes sense.
And that is called transhumanism. And that is also in the Bible. In the end times, it says that the clay will try to mingle with iron. We are the clay.
Aye.
Even the Native Americans believe this. Native Americans believe we came from the dirt, all of us.
They do, yeah.
Yes, they do. Because we did come from the dirt. We were meant to be on this place. We were meant to be in harmony with this place, not against it. Yet, through industrial and technology, we are destroying the very place that keeps us alive. And we don't give a shit.
We are...
Every time you buy a battery-powered device, that is the worst fucking thing that you just bought for the environment. And how often do people shuffle out their cell phones? It's worse than car emissions, dude. It's the poison from electronics going into the soil.
That's true.
It's actually called e-waste, and it's a huge problem that no one wants to talk about. You have another group. Just I'll throw one out there too. You have this group called QAnon. QAnon, I believe, is what I call controlled opposition, where they're telling you the truths, but it's actually them telling you it, okay? Through some sort of weird, twisted fucking agreement, they have to tell you the truths. But they're going to tell them in a way where you'll never believe them anyway, and they just chuckle and laugh all the way to the bank, okay? QAnon is known for talking about SRA, which is, I got that term from actually your side of town, bro, where this is actually more prevalent and talked about than it is over here in the States. SRA stands for Satanic Ritual Abuse.
Oh, okay. I've never come across this.
QAnon talks about the harvesting of adrenal. There is supposedly the conspiracy that these lizard people, they have to eat us. That's their food. That's their favorite food, is little babies. Blood of innocence. The blood of innocence is what they have to feed on. That's why we support abortion so well over here. Because supposedly all that waste goes to them.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This is the conspiracy of it. Does Tango believe in this? Not necessarily, but I could see it. If you know what I'm saying, like
I'm open-minded.
I'm not going to say it doesn't happen. Okay. So, through watching some various videos on YouTube of European detectives investigating, basically interrogating little young girls and boys that have been basically confiscated by the state due to the fact that their parents were thrown in jail for satanic ritual abuse accusations, right?
Mm-hmm.
And these kids would tell everything, bro. And the most disgusting shit you could possibly ever think of a human being doing. There's actually a little girl, she's like my favorite one to watch because she tells this stuff like it's normal. About how her dad eats 2 babies every morning. And how they have families that aren't registered, meaning like they don't have birth certificates, no one even knows these people exist, and they're kept hidden and they breed. That's what they do. They breed babies to be killed for ritual sacrifices.
Hey, poor babies.
This is a real thing that goes on. Q&A, or QAnon or whatever it's called, is always talking about this, and they've been deemed, a conspiracy channel and, whatever, full of shit.
Mm-hmm.
However, like I said, tomato, dude, if you go look up SRA, Satanic Ritual Abuse, you'll find out that's not a conspiracy, bro. It's a huge problem in the world. But it never gets media attention. Because that's who runs it all, dude. And you can't sell Luciferianism by being a douchebag, dude. You ever said Little Uzi Vert's name really fast, bro?
Uzi Vert? No.
Say it really fast, dude. As fast as you can say Little Uzi Vert.
Little Uzi Vert. Oh?
Little more?
Yeah.
What did you hear there?
Yeah.
What did you hear there?
Lucifer.
Mm-hmm. Will I Am from the Black Eyed Peas.
Oh, I was
That's
just
another blasphemy.
Oh, I always just called him William.
No, it's purposely Will I Am. Because Luciferians believe that through the power of their own will, they are their own gods. Will I Am. God is
I see, yep.
They're putting it in your face all the time, bro. Satanism is their bodega. If you don't know what a bodega is, it's a front. It's like a shop that's a front for like coke distributing or money laundering or something, okay? That's what Satanism is. Satanists are all these goofy, kind of goth dickheads that don't believe in God or the devil, they claim, right? Except they promote a lot of the symbolism.
Right.
They're basically the Luciferians, useful idiots. You feel me? They do exactly what they do, is keep the distraction on that. People half the time don't even know about Luciferian. I've never even heard of a Luciferian. Well, these people are highly educated and they're extremely wealthy. Unlike a Satanist, who usually is some fucking teenage kid that has no fucking idea about anything, rebelling against any kind of fucking authority or accountability, really, is what it comes down to. People that don't like religion, which, by the way, God says the truest form of religion, this is God's definition, the first written definition of it, the truest form of religion is to take care of the fatherless and attend to the widows in their afflictions. How is that bad?
Yeah, it doesn't sound bad.
Religion's bad. Well, clearly you don't know what religion is. That's what God says religion is. Man has made it this other thing.
Yeah, man has used it for nefarious
Well, they've labeled it
purposes.
something that it's not. If God says it's taking care of the fatherless and the widows, then that's what religion is. It has nothing to do with your spiritual belief program.
Right.
I.e. saying, like, Buddha is a religion, Christian is a religion. No, they're not. Those are not religions according to God. Religion is you taking care of people in need for the most part. Right. Okay. But that's how they get you to... It goes back to the divide and conquer, right? They can figure out ways to divide the masses, then it makes it much easier to conquer them. Race wars, nationality. Oh, I don't like you because you're American. I don't like you because you're British. That's called nationalism. It's the same thing as racism. It's pitting people against each other to keep the distraction going. So you know what? If we're too busy fighting with each other because you're Brit and I'm American, then neither of us are paying attention to what our leaders are doing.
Aye.